everybody, and welcome to the Division II State Championship football game between unbeaten Bishop Guertin and 6-3 Winnacunnet of Hampton. I'm Tom King along with Derek Guglielmino, class of 2005, and played on the 2004 unbeaten state championship team at Bishop Guertin. Derek, welcome to Nashville's ETV broadcast.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. It's great to be here.
I was just going to say, this is going to be a fun day today, and you were on one of the original winning teams. You started quite a tradition. This could be 5 out of 6 for Guertin if they pull this one off today. And the question's going to be for you, because you played on a pretty good team yourself, could this be the best Guertin team ever?
Well, you know, it's unbelievable the way that the Guertin has just come together and just won every championship, 5 out of 6. Just a powerhouse Division II. And you know, I mean, it's so hard to choose what team was so good. I mean, undefeated season. This looks like it could be an undefeated season. There's so many in there. It's very hard to choose.
Well, how about a team that wins by almost an average of 5 touchdowns a game? Has not really had it. Has trailed only once in a game this year, and that was at Keene, 6-0 early on a rainy day. And a team that's probably, as we talked about before we went on camera, one of the fastest teams we've seen around here in a long time.
It's unbelievable. You know, you're right. I mean, I don't think they've scored less than 35 points all year. And you talk about speed. This team has so much speed. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you know, that creates mismatches with the receivers. You know, linebackers have to cover some of the, the third receiver, and then he gets open, and it's what Tony Johnson wants, and it works very well for this team.
Yeah, one of the things that this team has also done, Derek, is they've been able to run the ball right at people. You know, they run the option, and whoever's plugged into the option game seems to learn it very well. In this case, Steve Koopa, the starting junior quarterback, and of course Adam Hall has been a really good running back for this football team. But one of the other things too is their defense. They just have such speed on defense. They're in the opponent's backfield all the time.
It looks like at one point that maybe the opposing team will break away and make a play, but they have such great closing speed on these receivers.
If you see on the far side the jersey or the youth in a baseball cap, his name, he is one of the honorary captains today for Bishop Guertin, and his name is Gary. His name is Mac Murtaugh. He has a heart ailment, but he always wanted to be part of the Bishop Guertin football team, and so the Cardinals today made him an honorary captain, and he went out there for the coin toss. He has been diagnosed with a generic heart disorder, and I can't even begin to pronounce it. It's very, very complicated, but its initials are CPVT. 1 in 10,000 people have it, but he has really been strong throughout and has wanted to become part of this Bishop Guertin football team for a long time, and today Tony Johnson and the Cardinals made him an honorary captain. A nice touch for this football game.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. It's great to have him with them in spirit, and we wish him well and hope for the best.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Cronin calling signals, and a handoff, and what a tackle made by Nick Phillips as he goes in. A 1-yard loss is going to be made on the play. Jason Busfield, the top running back for Winnacunnet on the carry, and a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Phillips just busted right through all those blocks and just made a fast break to the runner there. But I'll tell you, looking at Knowles, he is such a big guy and such a physical presence there.
Well, that works. The thing is, a lot of teams have been bigger than Guertin, but they just haven't been as fast. 2nd down and jumping off sides of the Cardinals. Looked like Mike Flynn. He just jumped offside. He's a very, very spirited player. He had a great game against Alvord in the semifinals, both offensively and defensively. And today he just jumped, and unless he was drawn, but he wasn't. Encroachment, that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Just nerves there, maybe. Just too eager.
It will be 2nd and 6 at the 29.
2nd and 11 to 2nd and 6. Offense Flynn can't stand. There we go. That's enough. That's enough. Right there.
2nd and 6, the ball at the 29-yard line. Hand off to Busfield again, and nowhere. Maybe across the 30-yard line for a yard, and the man who created the infraction originally, Mike Flynn, was in on the tackle.
Yeah, I spoke with Coach Phillips, the offensive coordinator of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals before, and he said if you can control the line of scrimmage and you can beat them to the ball, you're going to win the game.
Well, that's almost the case in just about every game. I think what they have to watch out for is what Cronin can do on the edge. and if he can get it to Knowles. If he can't get it to Knowles today, it's going to be a long day offensively for Winnacunnet. 3rd down and about 5 from the 30-yard line, just across the 30. Handoff and a missed tackle, and up the middle are the Warriors, and all the way down to the 40-yard line of Guertin. Busfield again went right through the line. Someone bit on the fake, and Busfield gets all the way up to the 40-yard line. A gain of almost 30 yards for the Warriors.
Great read by Cronin. He saw the opening right up the middle of the field. He decided to give it to the fullback, and what a great job that was.
30 yards for Busfield, right up the middle. Looked like someone overran the play, Derek, and that's going to cause a missed tackle and right up the middle. Haven't seen too many games like that against his first-string defense of Guertin this year. 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 40-yard line. Cronin with a long count. Handoff straight inside dive, and it goes out to the 35-yard line. A nice gain of 5 yards to Brett Taylor.
Another good read. He saw that defensive end closing in on him, and he decided to give it again right up the middle. Looks actually like Cronin's working on a hard count.
Sure does, doesn't it? And what does that do defensive? What does that do to a defense?
Oh, it just gets the whole defense off, off their balance. They're waiting on one count, and they see the hard count, they jump, and trying to force an offsides.
2nd down, and 5 to go. Just underway here at Stella Stadium, 9:34 to play first quarter. Division II state championship game here on Nashville's ETV. Up the middle this time to Taylor, and he is stuck. Pat Rhodes there on the tackle. This time they didn't buy on the fake.
Not going to fool him 3 times in a row, Tom. I really don't think so.
I think that might have been Busfield rather than Taylor on the carry. That'll create a 3rd down and 5. Interestingly enough, with Cronin's available to throw the ball, he wasn't throwing it on 3rd down earlier. So let's see if he tries to put it in the air right now.
One of his issues is his accuracy, and sometimes he is inaccurate. So let's see if he can get that going. 3rd and 5. He's going to try to throw it, and instead he tries to run it, and is dropped at the 35 for no gain. It'll be 4th down. I imagine they're going to be in 2-down territory here. They'll probably go for it. He loses a yard. Oh, it looks like they're going to bring in the punting unit right now.
Field position game. Guertin, a team that can score from anywhere on the field.
Stay on side.
You got to watch out for a fake here, too, I would imagine.
Hard count here.
Well, it's snapped to the punter, so it will be booted. And going for the coffin corner, which not a lot of people don't do. Fair catch called for by the Cardinals. At the 11-yard line, they'll take over 1st and 10.
What a block by Harry Carver right there to keep his punt returner safe.
23-yard kick.
So a 23-yard punt, no return, and now we see the Bishop Guertin offense. Dave Cooper, the quarterback. Running back should probably be Adam Hall, and you're going to see Mike Kelly, who didn't play in the Alvin game, and I think that's Kelly up top of your screen, way out wide.
We need 1 block.
Hall, the lone setback. They're going to pitch it wide. And across the 15-yard line, a nice gain of about 5 yards. Not the breakaway they wanted, but Adam Hall with the carry. And it's 5-yard gain.
On that play there, if you saw Scott St. Lawrence, he came in for a crackback block, but he sealed that edge, but there was the defensive back to the left side came in and made the tackle.
2nd down and 5. Cooper hands off to Hall. Hall bursts through the line. Hall with a cut gets out to the 25-yard line. A nice job, though, by the Warriors. Looked like Mike Sullivan on the tackle grabbed Hall before Hall was able to break away for more yards. But he is close to a 1st down. He does have a 1st down.
Yeah, look at that.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Man in motion is Hall. Handoff straight ahead to Nick Phillips, and Phillips holds onto the ball even though he gets hit hard. He's dropped to the 30-yard line for another 5-yard gain. 3 plays, 3 5-yard gains.
Phillips just runs through that hole so hard. He keeps his feet moving, and that's good hard running there by Phillips, and just way to be there.
Phillips likes to bang.
Yeah.
That's the way he's always been. He likes to bang. He loves the contact.
Yeah, we got
2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Look at this. The
Cardinals with two receivers out wide to the left, and at the bottom of your screen, a lone receiver. Setback is Phillips. Koopa on the option. He's going to turn the corner and keep it, and he's at the first down marker. Tackled, but he should have a first down.
Alex Peckman delivered a blow there and took Cronin right off his feet. I'm sorry.
To Koopa, and Koopa loses his feet, but again, an average of 5. It's been 4 plays, 4 5-yard gains.
That'll work all day.
It sure will. It'll chew up some clock. This Guertin team is usually known for its instantaneous scoring from anywhere on the field.
That's what he wants.
Mike Kelly is up top.
We want Kelly on the right side, so we want to go Cardinal left.
Koopa over center. Nick Phillips, the lone setback. Hand off to Phillips. He just barely had it. No, it's a pitch. Pitch wide to Hall, and Hall is going to be wrapped up by the Warriors, who read it all the way.
Here we go.
The original tackle made on that play by Jesse Gould of Winnacunnet. He came right in there and wrapped up Hall.
Yeah, go Cardinal left.
What happened there?
Great job with the tackle there by Jesse. I mean, he just came in, wrapped around the legs, and
Stop and go. Cardinal, yeah.
So Hall loses a yard on that play. And it'll be 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line. You feel a little bit of nerves. You can feel a little bit of tension in the
absolutely,
stadium.
yeah, absolutely. A lot of people here right now, I'll tell you that.
And the clock ticking 5:20 already. We are already halfway through this first quarter. No score.
What play is this?
And delay a game on Guertin, so it'll set back 5 yards. So a little bit of a rocky start for the Cardinals on defense and on offense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a little miscommunication right there, and forced now to be 2nd and 16. But let me take it back to that punt. Do you agree with Winnacunnet punting that ball?
No, I would have. I mean, you're in 4-down territory at the 35-yard line.
Especially trying to set the emotions and
Exactly.
get the
No,
momentum on their side.
Yeah, I think that's one punt that should have been, that shouldn't have happened. Phillips on the carry, and it's a fullback dive for maybe a yard. So that doesn't get much. It'll be
So
3rd down and long, 3rd and 15.
A big 3rd down here.
Yeah, I was surprised at that call. Kind of a quick run, but Hall has got more breakaway speed than Phillips does, and it was 2nd and long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nick Phillips seems to be your prototypical goal line, red zone type running back.
I think that Cooper may have read a hole in the middle there and thought
And
they could
changed
break
the
one.
play. Phillips the lone setback. Hall not in the game. Koopa dropping back. Hasn't done that often. Throws over the middle, complete. All the way down to the 45 and Winnacunnet down to the 40-yard line. Oh, and a fumble on the play, and the Warriors have recovered it.
Blow it dead. Oh, come on.
They didn't blow the whistle dead, as it looked like the receiver, Scott St. Lawrence, was continuing to run with the ball, and then all of a sudden he drops it.
I think actually
Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly had that.
Mike
and
Kelly.
I tell you, did you see the time that Cooper had on that play? I mean, he looked like Tom Brady back there. Stepped up nicely. It was a great play, but great play by Peckman as well.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line. 2-yard gain for Busfield. That's a tough turnover for the Cardinals, though.
I'll tell you, it looks like Cronin really likes that middle. He must see something.
2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8. But boy, that is just a tough fumble for Guertin. With Mike Kelly wide open over the middle.
All right, I want 12. I'll see what. I can't tell what their splits are.
2nd and 8, 37-yard line. Now Cronin back to throw for the first time, complete. The far side of the field, but a nice wrap up by the Cardinals. Tommy Barilli read it and was right there to drop down Gould at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, we talked about earlier that closing speed. Gould had it, and the catch was made, and he just closed in so quickly that there's nowhere for the receivers to go.
3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 for Winnacunnet.
We haven't had no problem in the middle.
3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line. They've already been down to the Guertin 35. That was their deepest penetration. Quick pass and a slant, and it's almost intercepted by Walter Kell and dropped. Toughest play for a line. Did you play two ways?
No, I was an outside linebacker. I didn't actually play the defensive side, but I was,
You were technically, if they needed you at outside line. Toughest thing in practice, you probably did it all the time. Tough when you had a surprise pass in your hands for a linebacker to be able to catch it.
I know, but Kel, he'll shake it off and he'll make a big hit for somebody.
Here comes some pressure on the punt. The Warriors get it away. It's a line drive kick. Kelly's going to let it bounce. He is going to take it at the 20-yard line. Watch the show. Kelly can fly. He's across the 35 and runs out of room at the 35-yard line. I don't know if you were here earlier in the year, about 2 weeks ago. They played Exeter. Kelly takes the opening kickoff, runs towards the press box side, stops, turns around, runs towards the river side, and then all of a sudden turns it upfield for a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, called back by a hold. So 2 plays later, Kelly takes the ball from the 6-yard line and runs right down the right sideline for a 93-yard touchdown run. That one counted.
He was getting in one way or the other.
188 yards in about 5 minutes of regular time.
Looks like there's a flag on this play as well here.
Flag against the Cardinals, so it'll be a illegal block on Guertin, and it'll bring it all the way back from the spot of the foul. So that's just tough to have a block on a kick that really would have put the Cardinals at the 35-yard line. Instead, they're going to have to settle for it 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
And it's very important for Guertin to get off to another good start and grind away the clock as well as the
Tough here,
yardage.
though. Can't turn the ball over.
Run. 20. 20. Okay, here we go.
Adam Hall for about a yard, maybe 2. And that's it.
You hit the end and then just slid off.
And Winnacunnet doing a good job up the middle. They've limited Guertin here and there. So it'd be a 2nd and 9. Hall with only 1 yard. No breakaway from the Cardinals yet. 2nd and 9 at the 11. What are they doing defensively, Derek?
They're staying in there. They're doing their job, like Bill Belichick says. They're just staying contained
Backside. Where's my 10?
and not allowing
Again.
anything.
That's Rhodes. He's got to block the backside end.
They're coming hard.
That was 20.
Again a loss as the Warriors on a blitz.
That was 10.
But he came off the corner.
So Koopa goes down with a sack.
10.
They're bringing in their receivers.
They are. A loss on the play of 3 yards.
Lost him 2 on the play.
3rd
Now he
down
goes
and
to
12
safety.
from the
Now the kid goes to safety.
8-yard line. Boy, not starting out the way that Guertin wants it. Cooper wants to throw. Now he's going to run. We're going to have a holding call probably. And that's going to negate this play.
It negates Phillips' unbelievable block to even give Cooper some time.
So that will probably bring things back as Cooper runs it all the way up to the 18-yard line, short of a 1st down. So if you're the Warriors, you want to move him back halfway to the 4-yard line, or do you want to give Guertin an extra offensive play, or do you want to let him kick the ball?
No, I'm going to, I think in this position that it looks like they're going to punt, but I might take the penalty and
take the
push
penalty?
them to the 4. I mean, but they are such an explosive offense. You never know with them.
Sideline 9-9. Jakes.
What would you do?
I would make him punt the ball.
Well, they took it? Yeah, they took it.
No, they ended up taking it.
If they took the penalty, the ball will be back at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, that just shows they got a lot of confidence in their D right now. Shutting down that Guertin
half.
offense.
That's why they took it, because it's the spot of the foul. So it was in the backfield and half the distance to the goal.
They put it back there for.
Jokers.
3rd and 20 from the 2-yard
Ball in
line.
the end zone with the safety.
This is not Guertin's first quarter, that's for sure. 143. I can't remember a game where Guertin's been shut out in the first quarter.
Absolutely. What a testament to Winnacunnet.
He's got it.
Cooper with a deep pass, tipped away, and a nice defensive play by Jesse Gould, who's playing a great football game. He had Scotty St. Lawrence down the sideline, broke it up, and now it's a game of field position. So we'll see.
Scotty had to come back on that ball. The ball was thrown up. It was a jump ball pretty much, and Scotty's got the height there, and just give up and just, an offensive rebound, really.
Don't step on the line. Is he on the? Where is he in the end zone? He's better not be in the line.
So the pass is incomplete, and the Cardinals will punt. Punting out of his own end zone.
Good kick.
Good kick. Wow, wild, high kick all the way at the 40-yard line. Now we'll see about the return. Almost outkicked his coverage down to the 43-yard line. 59-yard punt by the Cardinals.
Wow.
That's Matt Christie with a 59-yard kick. But a good return by the Warriors, though, to set up in by Jesse Gould to set them up at the 43-yard line.
Absolutely. But that kick, didn't that look pretty? My God. Looked like a pass. Turning it right over. But yeah, good field position right now for Winnacunnet. They got to get something going.
1st and 10, 43-yard line.
That my tight end should have got it. What? Another 5?
I'll tell you, it's going to be a moral victory, 1:13 to play. If Winnacunnet even gets any points on this drive, but a moral victory to keep Guertin off the scoreboard for the first quarter, which it looks like they're going to do. 1st and 10, 43. Oh, no gain at all on that. Rhodes from his defensive end spot getting Busfield right at the line of scrimmage. Just looked like he almost tackled 2 people at once, Cronin and Busfield.
Yeah, once Busfield got the ball, he was hit immediately and wrapped up, brought to that ground.
Okay. Inside the 1 and 2 balls. Okay.
No gain for Busfield. Winnacunnet, actually, I believe, is close to outgaining. Well, not quite outgaining them, but because of that 25-yard pass play to Kelly. But it's close. 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line. This is Taylor, and Taylor to the 42, and that's all. Nicky Phillipson on the tackle.
You see Cronin, you can see his head bobbing from up here. He is not fooling that Guertin defense, and he is not fooling Nick Phillips.
Gain down to the 41. They're going to give him 2 yards. 3rd down and 8 from the 41-yard line. 3rd and 8.
This is big here. This is big for Winnacunnet.
There he is. He's in perfect spot.
Shotgun formation for Cronin, looking downfield. Fires it.
Oh!
Touchdown is dropped by Harry Knowles.
Oh.
He would have scored. That was 6 points waiting for Knowles. Couldn't hang on to it. They just missed the sack at one end, and they just missed a touchdown at the other.
I'll tell you, Knowles, he must have seen that end zone because, he's kicking himself right now. He wants that one back, without a doubt.
Actually, that notice the first quarter.
And that'll be it. What a play to end the first quarter on. That'll do it for the first period. No score here at Stellos Stadium. And if this is broadcast, if they announce this at Salem, they'll get a lot of oohs and ahs about that.
Absolutely,
Where
absolutely.
the Division I game is being played with Nashua North and Salem. Another game that you will also see on tape delay here on Nashua's ETV.
I'll tell you, on that last play, though, Knowles did a great job to get behind the defender, and he put himself in great position. The ball was on line. His hands looked like they were in the right position, but just could not hold on.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you see after the first quarter? I see a Guertin team that's had poor field position and has 1 turnover, which is, uncharacteristic of them, but they did turn the ball over in the first quarter a week ago against Alvern as well.
Yeah, they haven't even made it past the 30 all game.
Well, they did on the pass to Kelly.
Right, and then,
but they turned the ball over, so. But you're right. Now they're going to be stuck with poor field position again. I guess that's what that original punt set up. That first series where they punted the ball, it set up field position, and Guertin hasn't been able to drive its way out of it.
You said it earlier, it was a game, and they're winning right now.
Okay, we'll stay in it. We'll go bone if we have to.
Well, I thought maybe with his stutter steps it might have been a fake. But taking the catch right away, dangerous catch by Kelly. Thought maybe he'd get a burst of speed, but Guertin, again, going to be a tough field position game at about the 11, 12-yard line.
Yeah.
Now they're going to mark it at the 13.
Lago came flying down there and just laid a great hit on Mike Kelly there. And again, Guertin starting in their own 20.
I think they're going to try to power this, see what they can do and wear him down.
Who's that? The nose?
Handoff goes to Adam Hall, and Hall gets about, maybe 5 yards out to the 18-yard line. Didn't look like a 5-yard gain, but Hall kept his feet moving.
That one kind of defense is they're not being fooled by this option. They're staying contained in there, and they're shedding their blocks very well.
Yeah, no, it's the guy over.
2nd and 5, ball at the 18-yard
The
line.
other guy that made the tackle with the red shirt.
Koopa with Tom Barilli, Nick Phillips, and Adam Hall in the backfield.
What's he giving it for?
Quick handoff, no option on that. He gets a quick handoff to Phillips, and Phillips gets maybe a yard.
Again, right up the middle, and I mean, if you're Guertin, I think you got to open up a little bit.
Well, the wind may be a factor too. Ball at the 19-yard line. You need to try Kelly on the edge a little bit and get his speed into the game. Phillips with a yard gain. It'd be 3rd and 4.
Gave it to the fullback.
3rd and 4 at the 19. There's a pitch. It's going to be Hall. Hall turns the corner, lose one tackle, gets across the 30-yard line, and gets out to about the 33 where he goes out of bounds for a first down. Hall this year, I don't know how many games you've seen, but Hall seems to have developed as a running back in terms of natural cutting ability and natural moves.
Yeah, absolutely. You see him there. He's just weaving in and out of defenders, and he's not going down, at first contact, and that is huge.
Going to mark him back at the 29, evidently not giving. Evidently that's where he stepped out of bounds, but a 10-yard gain for Adam Hall, the biggest game from scrimmage for Guertin today, other than the pass to Kelly that was resulted in a turnover.
Yeah. Oh, nice block.
This is Hall, but Hall runs straight into a pile of Warrior tacklers. One of them right there was number 56, Jake Martin, was right there to meet him. So Hall gets across the 30, and that's all.
Yeah, Martin was not moving on that play, and he was just waiting for Hall to come to him.
Yeah, he did all right with him that time.
You surprised by all the runs up the middle?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Koopa not usually working the option too much. They worked the option one play and it was dropped for a loss. 2nd down. There's Hall. He's got an opening. Hall across the 40 to the 43.
Yeah, you said it there. I mean, he's moving through that defense so well.
Gain out to just across the 43-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Guertin.
So right now, a promising drive to start the second quarter for Guertin.
Promising drive, but you know what? They're going to chew up a lot of clock on this drive unless they... It's 9:50 to play first half. We're still no score. I expected this a little bit, though. Hall right up the middle, and Hall has to hold on to the ball. He does. Spins his way down to the 45-yard line for a gain of at least 12, depending on the spot.
And it's all about the yak, yards after contact.
You heard that phrase for yards after catch, but that's yards after contact. Tom King along with Derek Guglielmino. Gotta say it fast, Derek.
That was good.
That
was good. No, that was the best one you got so far.
1st and 10, 46-yard line for Winnacunnet. Cardinals in Warrior territory. Nick Phillips bounces off and then gets down to the 43. I think they want Koopa to run the option a little bit more, and he's reading fullback dive, and that's I think they want him to avoid that a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
it looks like Phillips really wasn't ready for that handoff. He gets 2 yards down to the 40. Actually, 2 yards down to the 44-yard line.
But you know what? He could be baiting, and maybe they're setting this up for something bigger.
I'm talking about the next play that I
2nd and 8, 44-yard line. Hall burst to speed. Hall spins across the 30, down to the 27-yard line.
He refuses to go down.
Seems to be their best offensive option right now. Is Hall right, Hall left, Hall at the middle.
Absolutely, Tom. I mean, this team, and it feels like that they're physically dominating, Winnacunnet right now, and they're wearing him down a little bit on this drive.
Hall has 62 yards now.
Keep an eye on 4.
He's outside.
Hall has 62 yards. 1st and 10, 27-yard line.
2 right eye. Hey, now go. 2 right eye.
Yeah, I mean, they have. I can't remember the last play that they ran, outside the guards and the tackles.
The Titans of Nashua North lead the Blue Devils 21-14.
They just announced, as we're on tape delay, everybody will know while they're watching this, they just announced that North is up 21-14 after 3 quarters. Hall with 4 yards.
Belviso? You've got to be kidding me.
It looks like
this
Belviso
time,
jumped.
Nick Belviso jumped, and it'll go back 5 yards.
That's costly. It takes it from being a second and 7, now being a 2nd and 12.
What?
On a drive that Guertin looks very good and very sharp, chewing the clock up.
Where is he?
2nd and 12, 28-yard line. Looks like option time. They need to get the ball in Mike Kelly's hands a little bit as well. use their speed. 2nd down and 12 on that penalty. Koopa fakes a pass. Oh, this is going to be a tough play. Kelly on an end around. Kelly turns the corner. Kelly across the 30, runs out of room.
You know, that play there looked
Too
like,
long to develop.
well, you know, I don't even think that was the play. I think it was a
And we got a flag on the play, too.
yeah, that play right there was a screen, I think, to Kelly, and it was busted, and then Kelly came around
And took the handoff.
and Cooper gave him the handoff, yeah.
Well, whatever it is, it's going to be negated. Blocked in the back by Guertin, another penalty, and it's going to be another 15-yard penalty. It's going to take the Cardinals out of this drive. Penalties and a turnover killing the Cardinals this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Spotted the foul at the 32-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 27.
Who'd they call?
Is it a 15-yard, Tom?
Block in the back, I think, is 15. Let's see. No, 10-yard. 10-yard penalty. That's 4 penalties for 30 yards for Guertin right
So
now.
2nd and 22 here.
2nd and 22 from the 43-yard line.
I think at this point you got to maybe run a play that you can get like 8 yards, 10 yards. Get yourself in decent 3rd down position.
Handoff now to Hall. Hall cuts to the right side, and Hall dropped and a fumble, and the Warriors recover. Another fumble.
This Warrior defense is not letting Guertin
They are
do
not letting
anything.
Guertin up off the mat. 40 gain of maybe no gain on the play, and then a fumble.
That's the 2nd fumble this half, and I mean, Guertin's got to hold on to that ball.
We were having good success going.
But you know, you think about this.
2 turnovers.
You think about
Turnovers, and now the Warriors take over. 1st and 10, 46-yard line.
Unbelievable. Penalties.
Boy, penalties, boy, I'll tell you, that's the key right there. 1st and 10, Cronin in the shotgun. Cronin looks to throw. He's got a wide open receiver in Taylor. Taylor in space across the 45 and the 50 and down to the 46-yard line of Guertin.
Yeah, but not before about a 9-yard gain. That is a nice play call there and great execution.
A gain of about 9.
We might
1 at the Cardinal 46-yard line. 7:01 to play first half.
Might see a start of the fan section getting involved.
Well, I'll tell you what. Warriors bring a crowd, and Flynn jumps off. He's pointing one way. Winnacunnet pointing the other. Let's see. The officials are going to get together and talk it over. Guertin clapping. Trying to say that somebody with Winnacunnet lifted his head, drawing Mike Flynn off sides.
From what I saw, it looked like encroachment, but
Well, they're going to get the call, evidently. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Warriors. False start. It's the first penalty on Winnacunnet today. Second penalty, rather. I'm sorry, second.
Remains 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 from about the 49.
Watch a hard count, yell it out. Perfect time for it.
Well, Cronin may be in a shotgun formation again. I think he's going to stay that way. With Busfield and Taylor in the backfield. Maybe looking for Knowles here. Who knows? Knowles, they are looking for Knowles. It goes right through his hands.
Knowles is nervous. It seems like that's his 2nd drop so far, and I mean that one went right through his hands. He's got to shake these off and
3rd and 6 on the 49. The shotgun formation is helping Winnacunnet get rid of helping Cronin get rid of the ball quicker. Guertin hasn't been able to get to him yet.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're doing the offensive line is doing a great job, giving them just enough time to get that quick 5-yard pass out there. But Knowles has to catch that.
Well, I tell you, 6:32 to play first half, no score. This Winnacunnet team preseason was picked to be one of the better teams in the division, and today they're playing like it. Cronin back to throw. He's going to try to run, and the Cardinals hem him in. Kell and Barilli on the stop, but going there and getting the first pressure was Anthony Travellini.
Cronin was running like that was a loaf of bread. I was wondering when he was going to tuck it in, and he finally did.
Well, one thing, Winnacunnet not able to score when they get opportunities when the ball's been turned over. Now we're going to have another punt. Kelly deep for Guertin. Special teams could be a key today. The punt, they're going to kick it right at Kelly. He moves and catches it at the 25. Watch the show here. Kelly darting across. He's going to try to turn the corner. Don't know if he's got enough room. He's got some speed. He's across the 30, and that's about it. Gets dragged from behind. Could have been a horse collar, but no flag thrown.
Kelly he's just not getting that. Well, he just needs one block, and
Well,
he's
he
just
had a
not.
bad ankle last week. They held him out. You know, they said he could have played. So you wonder, and I said the 30, it's really at the 20. So it's like Kelly may have cost himself some yards on that return, and Guertin taking over 1st and 10, just shy of their own 20-yard line.
Tired of this.
This is no score means good news for Winnacunnet. Anytime you see a 0 on the Guertin side,
You know,
it's
you're
always
doing
tough to win
something.
that last one, Derek. Cooper to Hall. Hall with a run across the 30-yard line. Boy, I'll tell you, that just seems to be their bread and butter right now.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to stick with it.
Yeah, you had mentioned that. Well, I think that this Winnacunnet game, BG played Winnacunnet when I was in the championship game, and it was a close one. And that was our last one to finish off our undefeated season. And it was 7-0 at half, and we were, we were big favorites in that game, and we just couldn't get anything going.
Can't hear anything.
It takes a little bit to wear a team down. I said in a prediction that it would be close at halftime, but I don't think it'd be this close.
No, I don't think anybody did.
1st and 10, 30-yard
Get
line.
on that linebacker and that thing's open.
Maybe a free play. No, the whistle blows, they stop. Now the question is, was it encroachment or was he drawn off? Never is how it looks.
Yeah, I thought it was encroachment.
Well, they're going to go, I guess this was pretty cut and dry. They're going to go 5 yards the other way, so it'll be 1st and 5 for Guertin. The penalty goes against Winnacunnet.
What's the reason that they didn't let that play go?
That's a good question. Maybe he dead ball foul. I guess he jumps into the neutral zone and the whistle blows, and that'll do it. In high school, you don't have the opportunity to get back.
Oh,
Once
okay.
you get into the neutral zone, that's it. 1st and 5. Here's Hall into the secondary. Hall all the way, another flag down, and we may see another hold.
Another.
Boy, I'll tell you, this is reminiscent of the championship game at Exeter a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, with the penalties that Guertin incurred. They always watched it.
And what was the end result of that game?
Exeter wins. And that flag was thrown. Remember, it's the spot of the foul. So it's at the 48-yard line.
I'll tell you, I'm not sure if I would
So it's
want
going to
to.
go back. Well, where's the flag? No, it's marked at the 37-yard line. Hall gets credit for a yard carry.
I'm not sure if I would want to be a player going into that locker room 0-0
I know it.
on the Guertin side.
I wasn't sure you'd be up here.
I'd love to be on the Winnacunnet side, though.
1st and 13 at the 30. 27. Hall on a delay and a whistle, and what was this all about now? Looks like a false start on Guertin, maybe.
All right, go. Kelly left, split backs again.
I don't even know what that could
Did
have
they
been.
see a flag? Did they blow the whistle? I heard whistles, but did they blow it?
No, it's on the other sideline.
Evidently,
Looks like no foul.
no whistle, no foul. I didn't see a flag. So Hall gets out to the 37-yard line. He gets 10 yards. But we'll wait and see. Their officials are huddling up at the line of scrimmage. What's going on?
Oh, that's what they're saying, that somebody in the sidelines had a whistle, blew the whistle.
Well, I don't know. Let's see.
Taking that play away from us?
Let's see if they're taking the play away.
Their fans are blowing a whistle. You gotta be kidding me.
Are they taking the play away, John, or not? It's a 15-yard. It should be unsportsmanlike.
Now we're going to wait and see here. 4:51 to play first half. No score.
What's going on? Oh.
And now we're waiting to see what the call is going to be, whether or not there was a flag on the play or whether or not they blow the play dead because they heard an inadvertent whistle from the crowd or not. Nope, I think they're going to keep it where it is. They had the down marker moved all the way back to the 37-yard line, a 10-yard gain for Hall.
I think this is very unusual for us and them. I don't think they've dealt with something like this.
Richard's having a problem with this guy being prepared.
I'll tell you, there's a lot
Just tell him to put his phones up.
of different things circulating up in this booth. I'll tell you.
Well, we're waiting to see. It's going to be a 10-yard gain for Hall.
So after all that, play stands.
He's too deep.
2nd and 3, 37-yard line.
What was that?
Phillips. First down across to the 44-yard line.
I think Cooper handed that ball off with his right hand behind. It didn't even look like.
It looked like a real unorthodox handoff that easily could have been stripped or fumbled. 4-yard gain to the 41-yard line for Phillips.
I'll tell you, Guertin's got to be more careful with that ball. Secure this ball.
1st and 10, 41. This is taking time, though. 4:26 to play first half. Hall and Phillips in the backfield. Hall gets hit initially and falls forward for about 3 yards to the 44.
So finally, they stopped one up the middle there for a
Out to the
2-yard loss. I
43.
mean,
What do you call it?
Hall has 90 yards on 16 carries.
what a half he's having. He might be the only player that is having a good half for the Guertin.
You got to stop and go, Coach.
Not by my count. 1st and 10, 43. Or second down and 8. Hall up to the 50-yard line.
Kelly again right up the middle.
From the 43 to the 49.
49.
3rd and 2, 49-yard line. Who do you think's going to get the ball in this? 3:27 to play. Clock's still winding down.
I'm thinking Hall's getting it.
Guertin's going to need a breakaway here, or they're going to need they're going to need to hurry up these plays, because you wonder if Hall can keep doing it for 3 minutes and then a little encroachment. They blew the whistle and a flag goes, and let's see if it's against Winnacunnet or not.
As a coach, if you go into this game 7-0 being Guertin, are you satisfied? What are you thinking?
No, I think you're not satisfied, because you know your team could have played better. You turned the ball over twice in the first half, taking away 2 potential scoring drives, and you've had poor field position all half. And I think you're happy with the way you played defensively, except for that 30-yard play for Winnacunnet.
Now the ball at the 46 in Warrior territory.
You're in a 4 now.
Everything's good.
We're in a 40.
1st and 10, 46-yard line. Clock still ticking. 3:01 to play first half. Cooper, play action. He's got a wide open receiver down the field. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Cooper to Mike Kelly for the score. A play action. Winnacunnet bit Kelly down the sideline, and there's a touchdown.
Mike Kelly had more than 3 steps on that defender, and I mean, Cooper made a great read, great throw. It feels like you can drop back, 5-step drop, and still nail that receiver. Because
I'll tell you what the best thing about that play was: no flags.
yeah,
With a 1 and 2 hole, we're going to go 3 and 4 and 5.
but Mike Kelly's just
Ryan
too fast.
Card with the extra point.
Ooh, good bomb that
It's up. It's good. 2:51 to play. It's a 7-0 lead in favor of the Cardinals.
That brought this Guertin crowd into it a little more.
Well,
They were
it gets-
silent.
It gets the Guertin crowd into it, and the other factor too is it's a little bit of the pressure off. But I'll tell you what, watch out for the kickoff return. And Guertin on special teams and kickoff coverage this year, sometimes very good, sometimes not good at all. Did you play special teams?
Yeah, I did. I was
Kickoff
the,
coverage?
Yeah, kickoff. I was the wingman.
That's a lot of running.
Yeah, it was. That's a lot of fun, though. I mean, that's
How much time in practice do they spend on special teams?
They spend about 20 minutes probably.
Every day?
No, I heard it every day. You every day?
Matt Christie with the kickoff,
They can't stop us going straight ahead. Yeah.
taking it about the 14-yard line and wrapped up with a tough tackle at the 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Winnacunnet there, as the Warriors will take it over. Harry Knowles with the return, Guertin on the stop.
13-yard return for Knowles.
Looked like getting in there.
Warriors
Guertin.
start at their own 27.
Yeah, on Fridays.
Elias Cassis, who is good enough to be a starting running back on any other football team in this state.
Just Guertin has so much depth.
Yeah.
First and 10, 27-yard line. Shotgun again for Cronin. Cronin looking to throw. Throws to the right side. Missed tackle. And brought down at about the 28-yard line.
Number 22, Jason Busfield.
Busfield on the catch.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Got to wrap that up. Guertin's got to wrap that up back there. You know, that's 3-yard loss instead of a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, tell him. Listen, tell Coop. Listen to me, John. Tell Coop.
Second and 8. Ball just at the 29-yard line.
Tell him the audible.
2:14 to play first half. 7-0 now in favor of the Cardinals.
Like they did on the.
Cronin back to throw. He's looking all the way to Knowles on the right side. He's caught and out of bounds, very close to a first down.
Great
He
job.
stays in bounds.
Great job by Knowles to run past the
Pass it
first down
right.
marker.
You're right.
And then come right back to the ball. And a great throw by Cronin to throw right at the first down marker.
Tackle by number 9, Kyle Carrasco.
A gain of 8, and it's a first down.
First down for the Warriors, who move the ball to their own 38.
He doesn't
We got
have
the ball second half,
And
right?
that's Knowles' first catch of the day. Surprisingly, they've thrown to him about 5 times. 1:48 to play first half. 7-0 Cardinals. Cronin on a dive. Draw a play and a lot of space for Taylor, and Taylor runs it all the way to the 47.
What a hit
Very
by
close
Matthew
to a first
Bain.
down. That's a good call, you know, a delay to get Guertin thinking a little bit, Guertin thinking pass. Defense overrunning the ball carrier, and he gets out to the 48-yard line. 11-yard gain. Should be enough for a first down.
Bain was not letting the runner get that extra 12th yard.
Yeah, you should have had that by more than the length of the football. As you see the measurement there in the middle of your screen. And it's a first down by about half the length of the football at the 48-yard line.
Plays enough for a Warrior first down.
You know,
Not much rushing yards for Winnacunnet today, but they do a good job on that play.
I think they got to keep getting the ball to Knowles. He's their player. He's their playmaker.
Shotgun again. Shotgun formation.
Here they come.
Cronin's going to keep it. He's going to go to the option to Taylor, and it's read perfectly by Guertin. Right in the backfield for the Cardinals on the tackle, Kyle Carrasco.
Carrasco with the tackle. 3-yard loss on the play.
Great job by Kyle to shed his block and get to the right, and he was not fooled. I mean, they tell you to take the pitch man of the quarterback, and that time Kyle had the pitch.
2nd and 13 at the 45. You think that play would have gained more had Knowles or had Cronin kept it?
No, I don't. I think Cronin made the right call, and I think BG just did a great job of defending it.
My wife's sitting over on the side. We're going back over.
1:10 to play here after this timeout. Guertin called time, I believe. They want to see if they get the ball back.
Please figure out at halftime. The marching band.
At halftime, we'll turn the mics down low and let the fans enjoy the Guertin marching band on a beautiful day here at Stello Stadium.
You know, that was a big stop, too, because Winnacunnet was dry, you know, had a nice little drive going. Guertin said, I'm going to put a stop to that. Makes it down a second and looks
Second
about
and
13.
from about the 45-yard line.
Double digits.
Shotgun formation, bad snap. Cardinals looking to dive on it. Looks like they did. Let's see who recovered it for Guertin. It was Carrasco with 2 big plays now. A tackle for a loss and a fumble recovery.
That's the sophomore Kyle Carrasco, who's just that drive by Winnacunnet was stopped purely on him. Except the ball did go through the hands of Cronin, but
Loss of 19.
that is huge, absolutely huge for Guertin.
1st and 10, 26-yard line. Pass to the side for Kelly. Oh, Kelly almost became the defender on that play.
He did become
Knowles
the
was right there covering it.
Looked like Knowles was in perfect position to intercept that, and that play took a long time to develop. I mean, Kelly was open early, and it didn't look like he was open later.
I think they've got plenty of time. They could have run the ball a little bit. 58 seconds left to play now.
They were going for the throw.
Yes, they were.
There it is.
Handoff, Hall up the middle. Hall gets through, and Hall gets down to the 22-yard line.
4-yard gain on the play.
I mean, you were thinking Winnacunnet was in great position going into halftime, only down 7, and then that turnover. And if they can hold Bishop Guertin to just a field goal, I think they'll be happy with
We got
that.
one left. We have one left, Tony.
Guertin with 1 timeout left, probably 47.8 seconds to go.
We ask that all spectators
Interesting call here.
passion for injured players.
You wonder if Cooper will run the option. You wonder if he'll drop back to throw. I don't think the play action will work this time because everybody expects him to be throwing the ball.
You know what? I don't know if they expect him to be throwing it, but because that middle has been really working out. If Hall gets a nice blocker up the middle, I mean, he's been gaining 5 yards almost every play.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah. Yes,
It'll
we
be
are.
3rd and 6 at the 22-yard line. Guertin with a 7-0 lead, courtesy of a 46-yard touchdown pass from Steve Cooper to Mike Kelly. That's how the season started, a 50-yard pass against Pinkerton on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah,
It wasn't a touchdown, but it certainly set the tone for the season.
they got 4 receivers now. They're looking to throw.
Nick Phillips, the lone setback, in there for protection. Cooper throwing.
Got it.
He caught it.
Oh, that is
Bounces it down to the 13-yard line, a pass incomplete. Now it's be 4th down. Looks like special teams are coming on the field. We may see a field goal attempt.
I tell you, Kelly
We'll
there
see.
was.
It's a wholesale change of players. So, 39-yard attempt for Ryan Card, 42.7 seconds left to play. First half, and now a timeout is called, maybe by Winnacunnet. Yes, it is. What do you think? Field goal or not?
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do. That makes sense. Put 3 more points on the board and go into halftime up 10.
But I tell you what,
Yeah, a little bit.
There's 40.
play devil's ad, play armchair quarterback here on that 3rd down play. You get Hall as a setback with a draw,
That's what you.
and that probably would have opened it up.
Yeah, they had the 4 receivers
I
spread.
bet they had the 4 receivers spread. If they had Hall as the lone setback, might have been a good play to try to draw and catch Winnacunnet thinking pass. You got him thinking pass. You go run up that middle. You're open all day for Hall. And I bet it would have been open again.
Yeah, that's a good point. That play though, the receiver was open. Kelly was open, but the defensive line for Winnacunnet did a great job to tip that ball.
Kicking it, Tony.
39-yard field goal for Ryan Card.
Not fine.
Snap, hold, kick.
Get up. Get up.
You have it up.
It's good.
It is good.
The 39-yard field goal is good, and I'll tell you, changing momentum here, all on Bishop Guertin's side, and that is not what you want if you're Winnacunnet.
Well, 10-0 right now. Again, you've got to be careful on the kickoff return. Tell you what, though, I still think they'd take 14-0 over 10-0 right now. They'll take the points. It's pretty big. But Winnacunnet's got to think going in at halftime, a fumble deep in their own territory only results in 3 points.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that as a moral victory and go in here at halftime down 10 points.
Absolutely.
If they don't get the kickoff return for a touchdown,
Especially
if I'm the Cardinals, I squib this. I don't want my field goal team running all the way down the or kickoff team running all the way down the field, but they do. Now that kickoff doesn't go it goes far enough. They kick it deep, bobbled by the Warriors, and it's returned 6 yards to the 11-yard line. So Guertin comes out okay on that. 31.8 seconds left to play here in the first half. 10-0 now in favor of the Cardinals.
What do you do here? I mean, if you're
Winnacunnet, you take a knee and you go in. You're deep in your own territory.
John, you agree that linebackers are coming down here?
It's a moral victory to go in 10-0 against Bishop Guertin. No one has been this close to the Cardinals all year at halftime.
That's such a testament to how good Bishop Guertin really is.
Also a testament to how tough it is to win a championship game.
Right up the middle.
Now they're still running.
Yeah, right up the middle.
Call timeout. Call timeout, Tony.
That run by Busfield gets about 2 yards.
Call timeout.
The 2-yard gain.
Come on.
Tackle by number
I'm not sure about this play call. I mean, if you're gonna just run up the middle,
They're gonna run the ball. They call
you know, take a timeout.
Well, they're going to let the clock go down. Guertin will get the ball to start the second half. Up 10-0. Gonna run one more
I don't-
play.
Now they do.
Busfield out to the 18, and that's it. Gain of about 4, and that'll do it. That's the end of the first half, everyone. It's been a dandy. The score here at halftime is Bishop Guertin 10, Winnacunnet nothing. We'll be back after you watch the Guertin band. We'll be back. Derek and I will be back with second half action in just a little bit.
Please give a warm welcome to the Bishop Guertin High School Marching Band.
Well, I was down in
I don't know where you were. I thought you were up there with him.
No, I was getting ready.
Hey, Luann. I know. She's coaching it. Now, do you still have a place down here? We're renting it right now. We're renting it. Yeah. But it's nice to be able to I was there, I think. Yeah. Oh, was she? Yeah, you can see her. Yeah. It's funny. She's coming back. No, I don't know.
Heels to the sky, man. His heels are pointing to the sky. What are you?
Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you. I'm scared.
I don't think I can go back to school tomorrow. There's a guy and some of his friends who are after me.
They hate my clothes, the way I talk, everything about me.
I know. You're stupid and ugly.
Did you hear me? I'm scared.
Listen to what they have to say. Take a stand. Lend a hand. Stop bullying now.
Welcome back to the start of the second half, everyone. I'm Tom King along with Derek Guglielmino. I got it right this time.
Yeah,
not bad, huh? 10-0 here at halftime in favor of Bishop Guertin. A little bit of a surprise with the low score, but it's been a struggle for the Cardinals offensively, although they've gotten 194 yards, outgaining Winnacunnet 194 to 59. That's a pretty wide disparity, but they've only been able to get in the end zone once, a 46-yard touchdown pass from Steve Koopa to Mike Kelly, and then a field goal 39 yards by Ryan Card. And that's where we stand right now. Adam Hall with 104 yards on 18 carries to lead Guertin's offense. Other than that pass to Kelly, he has been Guertin's offense in this first half, thanks to really 2 turnovers by the Cardinals, a Hall fumble and a Kelly fumble on a long reception.
Yeah, I think a key word to take from that first half is missed opportunities for both sides. You talk about that play that Knowles had. You know, he was wide open for 7. It could easily have been 10-7 going into halftime. And then you talk about the fumbles that Bishop Guertin has given up, and Winnacunnet not able to make make any points off that. So missed opportunities is what I took from the first half. You know, if you're BG, you got to hold the ball. You know, you got to have ball security and get a better tempo going. They were running the ball real nicely, and then they would do a turnover and it would kind of hurt them. So if you're BG, keep the tempo going, the clock moving, and keep Winnacunnet off the field. Winnacunnet's offense, actually.
Winnacunnet hasn't been able to do offensively. Their best play of the day, a 30-yard run by number 22, Jason Busfield. He's a 5', 185 senior, but he's a good runner. And Guertin has done a super job of hemming him in, and that's really been a big plus for the Cardinals. So as they huddle up, as you see them jumping up and down to start the second half, very businesslike approach for Guertin in this game. Not a lot of emotion by the Cardinals today, but they've been able to dominate statistically, just not finish drives.
Absolutely, you're right. The only actual emotion I saw was when Mike Kelly caught that touchdown pass. He was so energetic and psyched, and they got to look to Nick Phillips for that because he is their energy for BG. He is their emotion, and if he gets going, I think the team gets going.
Well, here's the situation right now for Guertin. Up 10-0. They will get the ball to start the second half, and they've had to punt once today, and really, they haven't really gone wide. They've dominated the middle of the field using Adam Hall. Hall over 100 yards. Usually if Hall's got over 100 yards and a half, he usually has a touchdown to go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it's just that he's chunking up the middle, and then once they get into that red zone area close to it, a turnover. So they got to keep that from happening.
Winnacunnet done a nice job, really defensively, and very opportunistic. And here's the kickoff. Taken into the end zone, the Cardinals will let it go. A nice kickoff for Winnacunnet. Their special teams done a pretty good job today as well.
Yeah.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Guertin at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, their punt coverage has been great, holding Kelly back there, and it seems like Kelly can't even take 2 steps before he's just nailed.
Yeah, we had the wrong call. It wasn't Matt Christie, Nick Pizzoka on that 59-yard punt earlier. We apologize to Nick and his family. Nick Pizzoka with that big punt earlier in the game. 1st and 10, Cardinals at their own 20-yard line. Started the second half 10-0. Give it to their bread and butter Adam Hall, and he is met at the 20-yard line for no gain.
You drop him off here.
They love that. They love having that lead blocker right in there, busting the hole open and having Adam Hall run right behind him.
They have a little trouble, I think, with Winnacunnet's nose tackle. I think Jake Martin has played very well defensively for Winnacunnet this year, and only a 1-yard gain for Hall. Second down and 9.
They're in a 40.
Koopa over center. Quick handoff, the option play. He's going to keep it. He's going to turn it up the field, and he gets met at about the 24-yard line. Not much for Koopa.
Jesse Green laid an absolute hit on Koopa. I mean, that was he just wrapped him up, picked him up, and drove him into the ground. What a great tackle.
Winnacunnet, well, I'll tell you, next year they've got about 20-some-odd seniors on this team. A lot of juniors playing well for them in this football game.
How about we run an aces?
Guertin on the shotgun pass complete to Scotty St. Lawrence at about the 31-yard line. Should be good for a first down.
Little 10-yard and then stop. Nice play again. St. Lawrence getting past the first down marker and coming back to the ball.
Cardinal 32.
Yeah, John, please, just wait.
That's a good job too, getting the balancing the offense with the running and the passing, and keeping Winnacunnet kind of off guard.
1st and 10, 32-yard line. Nick Phillips, the lone setback now for Guertin. Winnacunnet moves, but no flag. Nick Phillips gets across the 35-yard line, a gain of about 4 or 5. Depending on the spot, it'll be second down. Nice play on first down for the Guertin
Yeah.
And there's a flag, and that looks like a late flag after the play. So now we'll see.
Kelly left eye.
Yeah, now on that play you
Yeah,
saw.
they're talking to Winnacunnet, so they're talking to the Warriors, so, and they don't look happy about it. So that may be a penalty against Winnacunnet.
I want to blast them. They're going to pack the middle.
They were talking with Alex Peckham, their senior captain linebacker, and it's going to be a personal foul, a late hit on Phillips, get it all the way out to the 49 of Winnacunnet. That's a tough break for the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like BG was driving already, and they didn't, you know, Winnacunnet doesn't need that extra yardage added to them.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Watch Dolan, please.
10, 49-yard line of Winnacunnet. 10-0 Cardinals lead it. Adam Hall, cut to the outside. He's brought down. Maybe a yard. Right there for Winnacunnet. Michael Sullivan, the linebacker, making that play. He's played a good game today. I haven't called his name enough. He's been around all over on the field, making a lot of plays and hemming in Cardinals. Guertin, I think the difference in this game, we've seen from other Guertin games, they haven't been able to break one.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to
No
break
big
a
plays.
run. No big
Well,
plays.
they're one big play, but
What is Cooper doing?
He must have said.
But you're right, the defense is staying contained, and I mean, look right here. There's now Guertin is going to go back 5 more yards for a false start.
What did he say, Tom? What did he say?
False start.
Then check it.
5-yard
This 5-yard penalty brings it back to the 47-yard line, 2nd and 14.
First sound, you can't check.
40.
9:43 to go here, third period, 10-0 in favor of Guertin.
Yeah, cut it.
Tommy Barilli, fresh legs in there for the Cardinals. He gets across the 50, but that's about it. Gets to the 49-yard line, maybe the 48 if he's lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right up the middle again with the lead blocker.
Yeah.
Nice 5-yard gain, makes it a reasonable, not a opportunist. I mean, not a great position being 3rd and 10,
It's a
but
big call in this football game. 3rd and 10 at the 49.
Joker's power.
Koopa in the shotgun. He's got Phillips as a setback for protection. Koopa throws, wobbly pass, and it's almost picked off, and it's incomplete.
that would have been a great interception.
That was a wobbler. They were looking for Kelly, and it was broken up and incomplete. So that'll be 4th down, and Guertin, after being able to get into territory, into Winnacunnet territory, thanks to that penalty, can't take advantage of it.
That's a good hold by that Winnacunnet defense. Able to stop them there and force the punt.
There's a punt. It's another good one, end over end, taken at the 15-yard line by Gould. Gould on the throw. There's a flag down. There's going to be a clip on Winnacunnet. And a return out to the 29, but the flag looks like it's about the 17. They'll probably go back inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Brett Lago for the clip, and if you saw it, it was very close. But going at full speed, the ref called it, and that's going to pin Winnacunnet deep in their own territory.
Now they've got 6 penalties for 50 yards. They've got more than Guertin has. So that's going to move it all the way back to the 9-yard line. A blocking below the waist call. Awfully tough in high school football not to get called on a penalty on special teams when just you're moving and you're not able to set your feet and make a clean block.
I got called for that in my championship game, and I didn't see the field after that one.
Is that right? First and 10 at the 9-yard line for Winnacunnet. For a change, the field position situation has moved the other way, and a handoff straight ahead. A nice little gain on first down by Brett Taylor. He gets out to about the 13-yard line, gain of 4. Probably too much for what Guertin wanted to see on first down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see the 3-yard gain just chipping away. They want to stop them. They want this ball. They want them punt their own territory. Guertin could get the ball back with some great field position and maybe do some damage.
2nd and 6, 13-yard line. 10-0 to score. Guertin with the lead. Trap up the middle, gets nothing. Fooled me. I thought Cronin was going to keep it.
Well, he should have kept it.
I know. It certainly had the space. Busfield maybe gets a yard. And Nick Phillips is on the ground hurt. And that would be a big loss for Guertin.
Looks like a cramp.
Upper thigh looks like, but we'll have to wait and see. He's going to try to get up. He cannot do it. And Tony Johnson running out onto the field.
Yeah, this is their emotion right here. This is the guy who lights that fire.
Well, that right leg is straight, and Nick Phillips does not look like he is in any kind of comfort.
Thank you.
What?
Jeremy did a great job setting up with
John, go out there.
spot than we were earlier.
Tony Johnson asking him what the problem is, as you can see, and Phillips is going to try to get up, and he does. So it may have been a cramp, you don't know, but look at the pain on his face, and he's able to run it. That's incredible. He's able to run it off after looking at that pain, and he runs it off.
Looks like the coaches just informed me that it was a cramp.
But they're up here. They're down there.
That's true.
Tough to tell.
That's true.
The only one who really knows for sure is the trainer and Nick Phillips.
John.
He's trying to walk it off. So Phillips is out of the game now. We'll see how that plays into it.
Now, yeah, I mean, if you're Winnacunnet, you still run up the middle, and they're missing a big aspect of that middle.
Right there, you got him.
Right there.
Fumble.
5 ball, a fumble, and Guertin recovers. Brett Taylor had it. He ran across the 20. It looked like he had a first down, and then he fumbled the ball.
Number 12, Ryan Fitzpatrick on the fumble recovery.
Yeah, great job by the Guertin D to just come in there and strip that ball. I mean, both teams doing a great job trying to get that ball out of the, the opposing player's hands, and Guertin did a great job there. I think it was the initial hit that knocked the ball out of Cronin's hands.
Well, you can't give this team a short field. They got away with it once. Let's see if they get away with it again. This time they give it to Hall, and Hall wrapped up at the 20-yard line.
Put Kelly in. Go 748. Kelly for Hall.
Elias Cassis in the game, Tommy Barilli in the game. They went with three-man backfield. And no room for Hall as he doesn't get anything.
I'm surprised you're not seeing more of Mike Kelly today. I mean, you saw him in that one play, but
They're telling me they got to double the nose.
and that other one that he had over the middle, but
Okay.
he's got to get more involved.
Well, you wonder if the ankle's bothering him. Well, you get the wide side, and there's your wish. Kelly with a touchdown. The name is Derek Guglielmino, and he just called a touchdown for Guertin. From the booth, he called the play down. He said, let's get Kelly more involved, and all it takes is one touch, and Kelly's in the end zone.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this guy can score from anywhere on that field. You see the way he just hit that sideline, and he just beat every defender.
Well, he certainly did. 16-0, and now the point after attempt by Card. Barilli on the hold. Kick is up.
Good. Go, baby.
Kicks look like it's good through. Mike Kelly, a 20-yard touchdown run. 17-0.
Now, it's important for Winnacunnet not to panic right now, because if they do panic, they'll find themselves in an even bigger hole. So they have to get there, make their adjustments. They got to get the ball, maybe bring it out, go some good, decent field position, and, just not worry. It's not over. There's a lot of time left.
So Kelly with two touchdowns on the day. And what we need is a sideline report on Nick Phillips.
What's up with Phillips? Cramp?
Yeah, cramp.
Just a cramp, we're told by the coaching staff.
Yeah, he's taking electrolyte tabs. Jack, a whole thing of Pedialyte last night.
7 minutes to play here, third quarter, and a short pooch kick. Guertin with his speed trying to get up there and get it. Little opportunistic play, but the ball goes out of bounds, and let's see if they make him kick it again or if they take it at the 35-yard line. What would you do?
I would take it at the 35. I mean, that's some good field position to start.
I think it's a penalty on Guertin. I think they can probably get better field position than the 35 with a kickoff way back at the 35-yard line. Oh, interesting call here. I don't know. Maybe they don't have a choice with the encroachment call.
Yeah, I think that in high school.
No choice, according to Steve Hall, the timekeeper, who is also a New Hampshire official.
All right.
7 minutes to play here in the first half again, or second half, and 7 minutes to play third quarter. Excuse me. 17-0 Guertin. Nice kick by Christie. Back at the 11-yard line. and return out to about the 25.
Ball, we got it.
Fumble again on the play.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yep, they called down. They called the player down. Max Fratello on the return. They called him down.
Thank God for Winnacunnet, because that would be bad news.
The return, 15-yard return for Fratello.
You don't take soccer?
He is. He quit. He wasn't. We just don't have the mantis type. He's tearing up the yard.
First and 10
Watch it, Tony. Tony, bump out.
at the 25-yard line.
There he is. Right there.
Past the Busfield in the swing, and the Cardinals cover it, and maybe about a yard or two on the gain.
That bubble screen was open from the get-go, but that closing speed of Guertin, I mean, we've talked about it all day. They are just so quick. As soon as they realize what the play is and where it's going, they collapse right on it.
Possessions, coach, they got to throw a little bit. Pick one up. He's getting stretched.
Second and 9 at the 26. You're right, Derek. That closing speed. Speed does it. Speed got the touchdown. Speed has given Guertin 2 touchdowns and really has helped their defense a lot. Cronin in the shotgun, back to throw. He's looking for some room. They can't grab him, a missed tackle. He's got some time to throw it. He pumps once, he's still on the go, and he's finally brought down. No, he's not yet. Finally brought down at the 24-yard line.
That
play took an eternity thanks to Steve Cronin and his ability to run the football.
That was an amazing run for 1 yard. I mean, he must.
Yeah, no gain on the play. He saved the loss.
He must have broken 6 tackles on that play.
Third and long.
Third and 9 at the 26-yard line. Probably looking for Cronin and Knowles here, unless they go with a delay up the middle.
No, they got it.
Phillips still not back in the game for Guertin. Here's the pass down the middle of the field, incomplete.
Fourth down. Here we go.
Fourth down, the Warriors have no choice but to punt.
At this point now, it's a good idea for Winnacunnet to start throwing the ball. I think that they need to get the ball in the air and start moving down the field. These runs, they're not going to do it.
Deep for Guertin, Kelly and Matt Bain, number 20.
Yeah.
Called Bain's number much today. They're trying to punt away from Kelly, and they do. Goes to the 40-yard line. He's going to take it on a bounce at his 36 and go 40. Hurdles 1 tackle. Cuts upfield. He's got a lot of room. He's across the 40. He's across the 35. Down to the 30. Turns the corner. He's going to score. A 65-yard punt return for a touchdown. Mike Kelly. What a difference this kid makes.
This guy, I mean, that's 3 touchdowns on the day for him. And he's doing it in all aspects, by air, on the ground, and in special teams. I mean, those are the 3 aspects of the game, and he's just nailing it.
And now Ryan Card in to attempt the extra point. Kelly with 3 touchdowns, 1 on the fly on a pass, 1 on a run, and 1 on a punt return. Just a typical day at the office for Mike Kelly. Really. It's what he does. Here's the extra point. The kick by Card is up, and it's good. 24-0.
That punt there was a coverage to the right side, and it was a broken coverage. Actually, Winnacunnet did a great job to break through that wall, and then Nick Kelly just used his speed and went around the left side, and he broke. And he juked the punter out pretty good too at the end there.
Okay, John, never mind. Johnny.
Well, with 5:01 to play third quarter, and it's a 24-point Guertin lead. Awfully tough road now for Winnacunnet to try to come back and win this football game.
Okay, bud. We're going to throw its backside to Coops, though.
Awfully tough road, and they know it. You know, they're not moving the ball offensively, and, you know, they even did the right thing, Derek, and kicked away from Kelly, but he was still able to field the ball on a bounce and run it all the way up.
I mean, he was able to get back there and pick it up right on the bounce. He's so quick.
Here's the kickoff. It's deep, back to about the 3-yard line. Taken by the Warriors, and what a tackle right there on Busfield by Elias Cassis. Elias Cassis, one of the fastest kids on this team next to Kelly. He's, like I said, he's a kid who could probably do some of the things Kelly's done, and he gets right down there on special teams and makes a tackle. But we have an injured player, and it's a Guertin player.
Are you seeing the emotion? Are you seeing the momentum just swing all BG?
Not Mike Flynn, right? Guys. You sure, John? Morelli was great on that.
And can't tell. It looks like Matt Flynn. It is Matt. It looks like Matt Flynn.
Not Mike.
Yeah, Mike Flynn's younger brother. He's a sophomore. And he was grabbing a knee.
That's Valium, you know.
So,
yeah.
Valium.
So, Tony Johnson out again, second time he's been out in the last 3 or 4 minutes. 4:56 to play. While there's a timeout on the field, let's go over the scoring for you. In the first half, it was scoreless for most of the first half until Mike Kelly connected on a pass from Steve Cooper, 46 yards with 2:51 to play in the half. 7-0 Guertin lead. The Winnacunnet fumble on a third down shotgun snap, recovered by Guertin deep in Warrior territory. They settled for a 39-yard Ryan Card field goal, and that's where it was at halftime. 10-0, a 39-yard field goal as Matt Flynn gets up, and he's going to be limping off the field. I don't think we're going to see him back in this football game. That looks like a lot more than a cramp, unfortunately. Then, things were scoreless in the second half, with Guertin clinging to a 10-0 lead. They had to punt on their first possession, but on their second possession, after a Warrior fumble deep in their own territory, Mike Kelly, a 20-yard touchdown run, 17-0, 7 minutes to play in the third quarter, and then we just saw Kelly with a 65-yard punt return for a touchdown, and it's 24-0 Guertin, 5:01 to play third quarter, and now it's 4:56 to play third quarter.
How do you read that?
It's hieroglyphics, believe me.
Boom.
Let's go, Tony. Johnny.
Busfield on a 3-yard carry. Gets from about the 18 to the 21-yard line. It'll be second down and 7, just outside the 20-yard line for the Warriors.
Play pass, okay? With the tight ends. Because if they are crashing on jokers,
second and 7. 4:27 to play, third quarter. 24-0 Guertin leads. Cronin in the shotgun. Delay on the handoff. Cronin looks to throw. He fires it downfield. Right. The receiver, and for the second time, Knowles doesn't hang on to what could have been a touchdown pass.
You saw me. I yelled on the microphone. The emotion there. He has to catch that ball. And this is his second time. You got to feel bad for the kid, but they go into him. They're trying to give him that confidence. I don't know what you do.
At one end, a miss, same as before. At one end of the play, the Guertin just misses a sack. It could have been a strip. And at the other end of the play, they miss it. Winnacunnet misses a touchdown.
Knowles is doing a great job getting behind that defender and getting open.
I was going to say, next year he catches that pass, but he's a senior already. 3rd and 7, 20-yard line. Shotgun again for Cronin. He's been in it most of the day. Little safety pass to Busfield and a swing. Busfield across the 25 out to about the 29-yard line. He should have a first down.
Oh, and a flag now. Looks like taunting.
Sounds like it's going to be against the Warriors. Ooh. Personal foul is going to negate, and it was after the play, so statistically you've got to give Busfield the catch.
Let's go.
But
hey, go for the block, tell Tony.
Well, see if it's a dead ball foul or not.
John.
It has to be. Has to be, because there's nothing after that play. Nothing during that play.
Yeah.
Go 4:32 play pass. Tell the 2-back and the 4-back to block the ends. Let's go 98.
Yeah, first down. So a dead ball foul. So Winnacunnet gets the down. So they'll get the first down. And the ball will be, after the play, the ball will be marked back 15 yards.
Are they moving them back?
They got a first down.
What?
Should be on the 14-yard line.
Oh, first down.
And that's where it is, on the 14. A 15-yard penalty.
Penalty is half the distance to the goal.
These
penalties ended up killing Winnacunnet today. It looked like Guertin was bitten by the penalty bug. And it looked like we were talked about 2 years ago when they lost that game in Exeter. But today, Winnacunnet's been really hit by them.
Yeah, the refs have been very busy today.
So in high school football, spot of the foul, dead ball foul, 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. So Winnacunnet gets to keep the ball and only has to go 10 yards, but they're right back at the 14. The handoff goes straight ahead. Well, actually, Cronin decided to keep it himself, which I'm surprised he hasn't done more of today, and he gets across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
You know, I'm wondering why they're not throwing the ball. There's 3:39 left in the third quarter. It's 20. You're down 24-0.
Well, I think Derek, because he was back in his own territory, I think he might have wanted to throw it, but he didn't really see the play develop, so he decided to keep it.
All right, so Nick's out there. We have him at 3 right now, as far as we know.
Don't want to turn the ball over. I mean, they'd rather kick the ball back to Guertin than turn it over deep in their own territory. I'd go to Knowles again, deep down the field.
Well, they've got a mismatch there,
They're going to fire right there, wide open, pass to Gould, and Gould is across the 23 and very close to a first down.
He's got to get out there. That's what James is throwing. Move the chains.
They have Knowles right now, you know, in a mismatch with Carluccio. It looks, every time he's beating him, and I think that they just keep going through him. I know he's not catching the ball, but that was a good play, though, to get the first down, and they got to keep throwing it.
First and 10, 25-yard line, 2:57 to play, third quarter. Shotgun again. A little wobbler, but it's caught by Knowles, and it's caught at the 29-yard line, and Nick Carluccio comes up and makes the tackle.
That's what you got to do. You got to get the ball to Knowles, get his confidence back in catching, and then go for the big play.
Now he gets about a 4-yard gain to the 29.
He looks down, though. No, you know, his body language is, he's hurt.
Well, second and 6, 29-yard line. Drops 2 touchdown passes, 2 balls that he had the defense beat. That's going to affect your confidence a little bit.
24-14.
Did you ever do that?
No.
Drop a short touchdown? You were a wide receiver, right?
Yeah, no, never did that.
Never did that, huh?
Never actually dropped the pass, huh, Coach?
Never. You had great hands, good.
Shotgun formation. Cronin looks to go. They're going to sack him, and they do at the 25-yard line. Pat Rhodes. Rhodes on the sack. No gain on the play. Actually, a loss of 4.
Thanks, buddies.
You made a great block in the central scrimmage. Remember when I jumped in?
That's when you became a football.
You might have heard Mark Phillips, the assistant coach for Guertin, agree with Derek Guglielmino that he never dropped a pass. I don't believe it, but we'll have to take it. We'll have to take his word for it right now. But ETV, if ETV, I don't think ETV was active back then. If they were, we could go back in the archives and try to dig one up for you, Derek.
You know, I actually I did a little work from you. I had to dig some of my files up to look at them.
Cronin's going to keep this one. He's going to run it, and he's going to get trapped at about the 29-yard line.
So are they giving up right now?
I think he was looking to throw it right away and didn't see what he wanted to see and decided to tuck it and keep it.
We're going to get down here. They're going to go for it.
4th and 6 at the 29.
I was going to say, if they went for it, we'd have a nice controversial call.
I was just going to say, well, I don't know how controversial, but they're down 24 points. They need to keep the football. One of the last things they want to do is give it back, but they have no choice here. There's a little dive up to Bain, and Bain at the 48-yard line, and Bain all the way down. Bain almost broke through it. He's going to be dragged down to the 26-yard line. A 27-yard return by Matt Bain.
Job, they're just busting through that middle, that block, the middle line there. I mean, the flags are flying, Tom. They're all over the place.
Here again. Dead ball fouls. We'll see who they're on. Tony Johnson doesn't like what he hears. He's backing away from the official from the line of scrimmage. Maybe a sideline warning for Guertin. I think you have to get a warning before you get a penalty, though.
His own players are holding him back.
What was that?
Illegal participation on Guertin.
That's the coach. That's
so 12 men on the field.
That's going to give him a first down. That's 15 yards previous spot.
Oh, wow.
So a penalty, 12 men on the field, gives Guertin, or gives Winnacunnet the ball back.
John, what was the penalty? Illegal participation. Who was it on?
You
know, they warn these kids to stay behind the line.
15 yards from the line of scrimmage, first down. So they'll go from like a 26, 29-yard line out to the 44.
Who didn't come off? Where's Walter? Why is Walter not in there? Why is Kimos in there?
Interesting, Derek. Too many men. 1st and 10 Warriors, 44-yard line.
Oh, okay.
2:27 seconds left, third quarter, 24-0 Guertin. Cronin with the ball, trying to pitch it. Gets outside, they miss him, and then a whistle's blown. Maybe his knee was down. I think his knee was down. They're going to blow him dead. And you know what? That's why Cronin all of a sudden darted into the open space.
Yeah, you saw him at the end there.
Because Guertin stopped playing on the play because they heard the whistle. And you hear the boos from the Warrior crowd.
You know, they
don't like that call.
You know, he wouldn't have gotten as far as he did, and Cronin's upset. But
well, was his knee down or not? You know, that's a question. I mean, doesn't matter. It's an inadvertent whistle. They had no choice. The play stops. But the thing was it inadvertent or was it the right call?
What do you got, Dave?
I think it was the right call.
I don't understand why we lost the ball after they punted.
They're replaying the first down.
So what does that have to do with it?
Whistle. Winnacunnet. There was a replay.
It's a 15-yard penalty?
So that play goes for naught to replay the down, evidently. An inadvertent whistle on the play. So.
Who's in charge of special teams? Janko. Somebody get Janko. John, got Janko's number on your cell.
So we'll replay first down. No yardage attached to the play. And it's a 1st and 10, 40-yard line.
Yeah, we're in an eagle.
No time down. It means there's no time on the clock. So Cronin's back to throw. He's going to throw it down for Knowles, maybe again. Incomplete.
Yeah,
I didn't see a flag. Did you?
No, it looked like it was going to be. He pushed off. The receiver pushed off, but.
And that time is incomplete. That'll end the third quarter. We've played 3 quarters here at Stello Stadium. As you see the scoreboard shot, 24-0 in favor of Bishop Guertin. As we get ready to start the final period of play, the final 12 minutes left in the Division II football season, and Guertin just 12 minutes away from what you would have to say is a coronation.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. If they can pull this one off, what they've done over this decade, and where's it come from? It come from Tony? Does it come from the coaching staff, the kids?
I don't know what to call it.
Just comes from a couple of 2 or 3 winning years that Tony Johnson got in the late 90s that started an influx of players coming into a program, kids who either were in the school and normally didn't want to play football or wanted to come to Guertin to play football or play another sport and decided to play football as well. I mean, a lot of these kids are Adam Hall, 100-yard carrier for this game. His main sport is lacrosse.
Yeah. Yep.
He's 19 touchdowns. He's agreed to scholarship at Siena College.
Oh, wow.
So.
Now, what's the word on Mike Kelly? Anywhere where he's going?
He's a junior.
Oh, he's only a junior.
He's back for next year.
Well, we're in an eagle.
So he's going to have some looks, huh?
Fitzy's okay.
Here's the handoff.
And into the secondary goes Busfield. Busfield with a nice run out to the 47 of Guertin. So a gain of almost 10 yards, a 9-yard gain for Busfield.
Brings up 3rd and 1 at the Cardinal 44.
Busfield, really the only offense that Winnacunnet's got, 59 yards on 10 carries.
This running, I mean, the run is not going to work in this fourth quarter. They got to get the ball in the air. I know I keep saying that, but it's just.
Well, it's not going to bring him back 24 points, so you never know. But it's going to take up a lot of time. But they've got to mix things up a little bit. Otherwise, Cronin is going to be a lame sitting duck back there in the backfield. He's over center right now, unusual. They're going to go to Taylor, and he's just dropped. Walter Kell on the tackle. And again, this defense does not have Nick Phillips in it after he left the field with a bad cramp.
Well, Kell and Phillips, they're like the Bash brothers on this team. The two of them together is just a vicious.
4 down territory, 4th and a long 1 for the Warriors. You can bet they're going to go for it with 10:44 to play, and they're down 24 points. 4th and call it 2 at the 48-yard line. A pitch wide to Busfield. He's hemmed in. He's tackled very close to the first down, but he could have been short. It'll all depend on the spot as usual. He looks short by the stick on the sideline. Let's see if they decide to measure this. You never know from the naked eye because that sideline chain is moved back. The chains could have been moved, so it's close.
Oh, what a great job.
You've got to measure this one way or the other. And they do, and he is short. Guertin takes over.
What a great job by Bishop Guertin to be able to contain that sweep to the left side. Everybody shifts down. The linebackers shed their blocks, and they're able to bust through them and make the tackle on Busfield short of the first down. The fans are loving it. So is the Cardinal. He's not a dancer.
10, 46-yard line of their own 46 for Guertin, and with 10:29 to play. Really, they want to get greedy and go for points. They just want to run some clock and hand the ball to Adam Hall and Elias Cassis and those likes. Head off to Hall, and he darts forward for maybe a yard.
Oh, and another flag.
Oh, a lot of late flags in this football game.
Knowles is just he's just very frustrated, and looks like he's losing his composure.
Yeah, you think it's on him, or do you think it's on somebody else?
I think it was on him. He threw, looked like he threw Phillips to the ground.
Power right, 442.
What's the back one?
Well, 2 flags on the ground.
Yeah, let's put Cujo in. John, tell him to put Cujo in. We can win some boots.
Well, it's going to be on Winnacunnet. Dead ball foul. So Hall gets a 1-yard carry, and then Guertin gets 15-yard lines, courtesy of Winnacunnet's overexcitement. Late hit, ball at the 38-yard line.
Penalties in this game are just killing this Winnacunnet team, especially late in the game. It's one thing if they happened early.
Absolutely.
Come on.
I think basically you just go bread and butter here with Hall. Just run this clock down, 10:20 to play in the football game. Nick Phillips is back in the game. There was some motion on the Winnacunnet side, but Hall spins. Hall breaks out. There's your breakout run. Wow. Touchdown, Adam Hall. 38 yards, a block by Nick Phillips set him free, and we got a flag on the play, so we'll have to wait and see. And we've got a Guertin player down as well. There might have been Nick Phillips again who was down.
Yeah, he was down.
What's the matter with him?
So have to sort this out.
If this holds, you got that touchdown you wanted.
You get that breakaway score, but wait and see. Now,
Is it a touchdown or what?
I think so. I'll tell you in a second.
John, check Nicky. Is he all right?
And you remember what I said earlier, that yak. Yards after contact. And that was definitely, he spun right out of that tackle.
He spun right out of that tackle and moved. He got a nice block by Phillips, who was down on the ground after he made the block.
Broke that kid. Huh? I don't know. Is he all right? He's got a concussion.
So as they try to sort this out, the officials seem to be talking outside about the 10-yard line. So let's wait for the call. Unsportsmanlike on Guertin. 2 unsportsmanlike calls. Touchdown goes.
So that's going to make this field goal a little longer. I think it's going to be enforced on the field goal. I'm sorry, the extra point.
I have the choice, I think, to take it on the extra point or the kickoff.
What would you do?
Kickoff. What's 1 point going to? What is 1 point going to matter?
Yeah.
You know.
That's what he's doing. He's talking to him. It had to be a dead ball foul.
I think they'll take it on the kickoff here.
No, they're taking it on the try.
Why? Why would they take it on the try? Unless they don't have a choice.
I don't know you because you were right. They take it on the
kickoff.
They get the good field
yards.
position.
It might be as many as exactly. So it's I think they should have taken it on the kickoff if indeed they had the choice.
Can you take back your call here? Can you take back that taking the penalty on the extra point?
What do you mean? Well,
if you already said,
if you could take it back, I don't think you can. I think that those kids have to make that decision. They look to the coaching staff. The coaching staff's going to tell them, take the penalty, and they don't know that they have a choice. So this will be a 35-yard extra point for Ryan Card. He's only got a 39-yard field goal, same direction. Let's see how this one goes. Snap is down, hold is good, kick is up.
Oh, but it made it.
It's good.
It's good.
Kick was good. What's that? 33?
So he's got a 39 and a 35-yard.
Well, 35-yard extra point, but not a 35-yard field goal. So
that's true. That's a good point.
So it's a 31-0 Cardinal lead with 10:08 to go, and one more touchdown for Guertin without a Winnacunnet score would put this in the 35-point or more category, which is running time.
Yep. This, if they could hold them 31, this would be the lowest points that Guertin scored all year. But there are still 10 minutes left.
That's saying something, isn't it? 31
it really
points
is.
being the lowest margin.
Ryan Card was a 35-yard point after kick.
Let's keep the whole first team.
They just called them. Oh, there were 2 unsportsmanlike fouls.
Yeah, they just called them.
Yeah.
So there were 2. As we said, there were 2 flags on the play. So there's 2 unsportsmanlikes. So one that was marked off on the extra point and one on the kickoff. So,
oh, okay.
So that's the. So there was no choice on it. 15 yards both assessed to Guertin.
So now we know.
A lot of yellow hankies in this game.
Oh yeah.
Christie's kick is taken at the 35 by the Warriors. They miss a tackle. And down at the 49-yard line, it'll be good field position for Winnacunnet.
The Warriors trying to get something going, but they're going to have a good field position in the.
Mike Trainer on the return for Winnacunnet. He almost broke it there.
He did. He those legs were moving, but Guertin wasn't.
So explain a wingman's responsibility on a kickoff.
Oh, all you have to do is you run down the field. You're the quickest guy. You're the guy who is the savior. Really, you don't want anyone getting to that outside. You want to contain it going to the middles because you've got guys gunning down the field.
So you're running down the right or left side of the field, right?
Yeah, right or left side of the field, just as fast as you can. And actually, when you run with Coach Johnson, he's yelling at you the whole way, and he's running right there with you.
First and 10, 49-yard line is straight handoff, 3 yards by Busfield. Looks like.
Those guys are still talking about it.
Yeah, but
you can see on a carry. The quarterback?
Go, Walter, Nick, nice shot, baby.
No, that was a gift to Busfield.
It was Busfield. That's what I thought. 4-yard gain for Busfield.
4-yard gain on the play.
So right now it's
2nd and 6 back at the 47-yard line, which is where they were earlier in this
Tony,
period.
can I come down? John?
Oh, there it is.
Cronin back. He's going to be sacked.
Take Quinny out now after that sack.
Mike Flynn with the sack. You knew he was going to get one sooner or later today.
Absolutely. He
does.
He's been right there chasing Cronin around. But at some point you got to look at BG. They're up 31-0, and they're not giving anything to Winnacunnet still. I mean, nothing at all. They want this shutout, and they want it badly.
Unless he's not putting them back in the game. Okay.
Well, it certainly looks like they could get it.
Okay.
That's been the story again. And Guertin, if they do get the shutout, they will have shut their opponents out throughout the playoffs. They will not have been scored upon in the postseason.
And that's unbelievable.
41 to play here in the football game. 31-0 Guertin. Pass right down the middle of the field, incomplete. It'll be 4th down. He had to get rid of it fast, and the receiver it looked like it was intended for Gould, and it just was overthrown because he had to get rid of it fast.
I feel like their defense gets overshadowed by Guertin's offense scoring so many points, but nobody sees that nobody can even put up many points on the defense, and we're seeing it today.
4th down and 11. The Warriors aren't going to go for it. They're going to boot it away, and a pooch kick shanked it. But you know what?
He's going to pick it up,
And the ball's going to roll dead at the 42-yard line. You know what, Derek? Though it's almost a victory for Winnacunnet. They don't kick to Kelly. Kelly can't return it.
Yeah.
Go off tackle with it.
Lessens the chances of penalties and everything else. And Guertin will take over 1st and 10 at their 43.
Kelly, he was running there like
24 left in the football game.
He was looking like he was going to try to pick that ball up if no one was paying attention.
State champs, baby. Nice job.
Now you've played with this program before.
Yep.
You won a state championship. I'll ask you after this play. 1st and 10. Looks like is Chris Kujawski in there at quarterback? Yes,
Yep.
he is. Chris
They made the
Kujawski,
change.
the quarterback, outside handoff. Elias Cassis on the carry, and Cassis gets out to the 49-yard line, gain him about 8 yards.
No, it looks like nothing, but they're getting the senior in there in the championship game at the
Cassis
end.
has been in this game. Oh, Kujawski, yes. And Cassis as well, getting to carry the ball as the coaches leave the booth. This game in the bag with 18 to play, a 31-0 lead. But don't touch that dial. See if Guertin can pitch a shutout in this football game.
See it, Googs.
Oh, yeah?
See you later, buddy.
Second 2, 49-yard line. Cassis drives through, and Cassis gets a first down, or close to it.
Picks up a first down.
Yeah, the
With the
coaches
year that they've had, it got to the point where middle of the year, or actually maybe after 3 weeks, you almost expected a state championship.
Yeah.
Is it anticlimactic for them today?
Well, you know what? I expected either BG or Exeter coming together and playing. One of the two teams was going to be in it, and BG, they came in today and they played some good football. They played sloppy, I thought, but they played some good football when they had to. Taking advantage of some turnovers. They got the ball one time in Winnacunnet's red zone, or I'm sorry, maybe at the Winnacunnet 23, and just was able to capitalize on that Mike Kelly touchdown.
Alex Eaton on the carry down to the 41-yard line. Gets about 5 yards on that play. 6 yards. 2nd and 4.
Mike Kelly wears my number?
No, actually, you wore his number.
Yeah.
2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line. One more touchdown by Guertin and we go running time, but it's 7:17 to play. Guertin's trying to do their own running time by just keeping the ball on the ground. Eaton on the carry, and he gets maybe to the 40 if he gets a generous forward progress spot. We'll wait and see where they mark it. So Guertin will win their 5th title in 6 years.
That's
2nd in a row.
Unbelievable.
No gain for Eaton. And we'll go 3rd down and 4.
Kids are celebrating on the sidelines. They put a lot of hard work into the season, and this is their time to celebrate.
Kujawski straight ahead to Cassis, and he's met right there at the line of scrimmage by the Warriors. On the tackle for Winnacunnet was Michael Sullivan, although I think he was helped out by a couple of white jerseys. 4th down and 4, and I'm Guertin. I just run the ball again.
It's amazing. There's 6:15 left in this game, and it feels like there's about 1 more minute left.
Doesn't it, though?
And it's just
a lot of room down in this press box with the coaching staff down on the field.
Yeah.
A lot quieter, too. Yeah, you're right. 6 minutes to play in the football game. 31-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Chris Kujawski, who has really come in at some interesting time or some key times for Guertin and played very well. Right there, maybe one of them is he's going to turn the corner and get near the sticks on 4th down. He should have it with forward progress. It will be a close mark.
Great,
think of that little fake and
it was a great bootleg and a
He's a good runner.
Great call. I mean, that's I overheard the coaches talking, and that's what they brought him in for. Bring him in, and we can run the boot, and that's what they did.
He would be a starting quarterback on any other football team. Not enough. He's short. Short, so you give him 3 yards.
You think that BG would be capable of playing state, Division I?
I don't see why not, but that's the big talk is should they have said yes that they wanted to go up. Even if they had said yes, they might not have been allowed to because of the fact that there are already 9 teams up.
Yeah.
So with Exeter moving up by enrollment, so that's a question as to whether or not how those logistics will work. I've covered those meetings for years. Years ago, they had the same problem trying to get the even numbers or the odd numbers, so everybody was playing, and all sorts of different problems. 1st and 10 and Winnacunnet at the 37-yard line.
You can see there.
But if I were, despite the fact that they've dominated, as Cronin's trying to run around, he's he's a tough guy to bring down,
really
but doesn't do it enough for positive yards. He gets maybe a yard on that keeper. They're losing 34 seniors. I don't know of any program that loses 34 seniors that would want to go up a level of football. So that's going year to year,
Yep.
Program-wise, yeah, sure, they could compete that way. But next year, I think that this team in white may be one of the favorites to win the Division II title.
Yeah, well, I think that's a little misleading when you say 34 seniors. There are 34 seniors in the team, but, the 34 seniors, they don't all play. They don't, they have...
No, they don't, but still, it takes, the juniors aren't going to come in there with as much experience as they did this year. Last year's juniors played a lot, so there's a lot of disparity there. Handoff goes to Busfield. Busfield gets out to the 44-yard line, a gain of about 5 yards.
Because I remember when we were playing, we had about 23 seniors, and when the seniors left, we were talking, we're like, well, how good is this team going to be after this? And we all didn't think that they would survive, and they proved us wrong.
Oh, that's what happens. Cooper will be back as quarterback. Kelly will be back as a running back. You lose a little bit of leadership, though.
That's true.
You lose a lot of that factor. This team is, so much leadership. Cronin back to throw. Pass is incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 4:17
They're losing
to play to a championship for Guertin.
Yeah, but they're losing their middle linebackers with Kell and
a lot of experience on defense. Awfully tough to say, yeah, you got to go up a level, and you're losing all those players for that 1 year.
Yeah.
Everybody says, well, they're loaded. They've got numbers in the program and everything else. Still, experience is experience. But that's a debate for another day. They'll be talking about that for the next month or so while they try to iron things out. It'll be 4th down and 4 for the Warriors. Shotgun for Cronin, and he pumps once. He's going to take off, and he's not going to get anywhere. Guertin's got too much speed, and he's brought down.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like every time he tries to drop back to pass, he ends up, running it because Guertin is collapsing that pocket so quickly.
Kyle Remillard, number 22, was on the pursuit, and he dragged it down. Or was it Kyle, or was it might have been 82? Couldn't tell if it was 22 or 82. It was 82.
I think it was 20.
It was John Sheets, but I think it was Remillard on a corner blitz. So Guertin will take over 1st and 10 at their 44-yard line as Cronin gets no gain. Basically going through the motions now with 4:11 to play. Handoff straight ahead. Maybe, I don't even think a gain there.
Yeah, it's important that they get some of these seniors who maybe didn't play during the year, get them in there, make them.
Cass has played. He played at some other positions. He ran a ball too. He had a 100-yard game earlier in the year when Adam Hall was out with a minor injury. Again, you said it before. Depth really can bring you a long way. 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Clock ticking 3:42 to a championship for Guertin. Kajowski on a keeper. Winnacunnet's not fooled. He's dragged down at the 45-yard line by number 26, Michael Traynor.
Chris Kajowski, the keeper.
It'll be 3rd down and 12.
Number 26, Mike Traynor on the tackle.
This time's moving very slow for people on the BG sideline, I think. They are ready to just run out in that field.
Still over 3 to play here in the football game. 3:11 to play. 31-0 Cardinals. Hand off straight ahead. Down to the 41-yard line. Driven back.
And looks like they put in Robert Fahey.
That was Kyle Remillard on the play. He got 5 yards. It'll be 4th down.
Robert Fahey is a sophomore, just getting a little time here at the end of the game. So they've gone through 3 QBs during the game.
2:33 to play, 31-0 in favor of Guertin. 4th and 6 at the 40-yard line. Kajowski hands it off or tries a fake handoff. Again, the Warriors aren't fooled. He's dragged, it's Fahey. I'm sorry, Bob Fahey, the quarterback now for Guertin. And he's wrapped up at the 44-yard line. He's one of the kids who will be battling for that quarterback spot next year along with Koopa, who I would think probably has enough to hold on to it, but that's another future talk.
Day.
So Winnacunnet gets the ball after a 3-yard loss.
2:24 to play.
So if you win,
3 shutouts in a row for Guertin's defense.
that's just unbelievable.
They
They
shut out
haven't.
Exeter, they shut out Alvern, and they've shut out Winnacunnet so far. That's right. So 4 games in a row. Wow.
Whose timeout is this?
That's incredible. There's a timeout on the field with 2:24 to play. And Tony Johnson, with his second defensive unit in there, is probably telling him, he wasn't happy with the way his second defense played a few weeks ago at Keene. So,
Well, they made the right adjustments.
I was thinking about it, but
well, probably telling them to stay in their lanes, stay in their spots, read their keys. Don't try anything fancy defensively as it kind of takes over. 1st and 10, 2:24 to play. Cronin's still the quarterback.
They are 43 yards.
Now, actually, Cronin is not the quarterback, and he hands off. Quarterbacking for Winnacunnet right now, Brent Edmonds, and he handed off to Brent Lago, number 6.
5-yard gain.
So it's substitutions all around.
These times are tough when you're Winnacunnet player right now. You lost the championship. You're just trying to grind out the last 2 minutes, and it's always tough.
1:56 to play. Somebody's going to get splashed, and they do it to Tony Johnson as he gets splashed with 1:48 to play. Lago again on the carry. He gets out to the 50-yard line.
This guy's been getting splashed a lot lately, huh? 5 times out of the last 6 years.
Well,
it's a good thing it's not a cold day.
Yeah, it's a nice day for football, but of course that sun is down, so it's a little colder than normal. Fourth down. Diving to the right side. Quarterback, we got a flag on the play with 1:05 left to go in the game. Brett Edmonds on the carry. We'll see what the flag is.
BG's got to be careful to not get themselves in any type of scuffle, because these Winnacunnet guys, they're upset. They're getting chirpy. BG's getting a little chirpy.
Penalties against Guertin. 15 yards, that's a biggie. Moves it all the way down to the 32-yard line. Less than a minute to go. Winnacunnet going to try to get on that board.
I mean, you want the shutout, right?
You have to if you're Guertin. You have to.
Sideline warning. Bishop Guertin.
Everybody on Guertin sidelines getting
47 seconds left to play.
Fans excited.
And off straight ahead, goes for about 6 yards.
You ever seen
Ben Fee?
You ever seen anything like this in high school football? So much dominance.
Yes, Pinkerton Academy had some dominating teams back in the mid to mid 80s, and those Ryan Mahalco, Joe Segretti days, and they also had a dominating team with Matt Jordan there in the early to mid 90s, and then it kind of tailed off. And a flag goes as somebody moved early. 12.8 seconds to play.
Ball start offense. 5-yard penalty.
So a false start, moves it back 5 yards. 6 seconds to play. They start the clock. Pumping, throwing deep, going for a touchdown. No, dropped in the corner, and that will do it. The shutout goes. The championship goes. Guertin, Division II champions for the 5th time in 6 years. The final score: Bishop Guertin 31 and Winnacunnet nothing. Oh, wow. Derek, just an incredible display by Guertin. It was close for a while, 10-0 at halftime, and then things opened up in the second half. and that just basically took care of it.
Whatever coach said in the locker room really, did something to this Guertin team because they came out of the half and they were firing.
Yeah, Winnacunnet could not muster up any offense at all. They had turned the ball over once. Guertin took advantage of it with a touchdown in the second half, and they got the punt return by Kelly, and just Mike Kelly, 3 touchdowns on the day.
So he's got to be your MVP.
He'd be the MVP. And Guertin with a shutout. The last team to score against them was Keene. They shut out Alvern twice, Exeter, and Winnacunnet 4 straight shutouts by the BG defense.
Just unbelievable. Like I said before, I feel like they get overshadowed by the offense because the offense is so powerful. And then, here we see it. We had a chance to look and really notice how good this defense was. So it was just, it just says so much for this team and so much for the coaching staff.
So there will be a timeout on the field while they scramble around and hand out the awards. Are we going to have interviews on the field? Possibly interviews on the field, but we're going to take a break right now. Derek, it was a pleasure working with you.
Thank you, Tom. I had a great time.
The final score, Bishop Guertin 31, Winnacunnet nothing. The Cardinals are the Division II champions for the 2nd year in a row and the 5th time in 6 years. For Derek Guglielmino, I'm Tom King. We hope you enjoyed this in-game broadcast. Stay tuned for the possible post-game broadcast here on Nashua's ETV.
Gentlemen, listen to the song. You're the best team in the state. You're the best team I've ever had in this league. Let's go! Congratulations, great job. Here we go, right on 3. 1, 2, 3. Captains, come on out.
At this time, would Ron Hoffman and the captains of the Winnacunnet Warriors please come forward to receive the runner-up plastic medal from Carol Donbrand, Athletic Director of Winnacunnet High School. The Winnacunnet Warriors began their season at 1-3 and then rallied for an outstanding regular season finish. Going on to defeat Seacoast rivals, the Blue Hawks of Exeter High School, in an outstanding Division II semifinal showing to move on to today's championship game. Congratulations to the Warriors for an outstanding season and making it back to the D2 state championship game. At this time, would Tony Johnson and the captains of the Bishop Guertin High School Cardinals come forward to receive their championship plaque and medals Steve Dubrak, Assistant Athletic Director at Bishop Guertin High School.
Good? Brother, get a picture, man. Gentlemen, right? Tonight,
The
my
awards
house,
for the
right?
season. We thank you for supporting your team. And please have a safe trip home.
How you doing? I'm here with Coach Tony Johnson, championship winner today. Coach, how do you feel?
This is tremendous. I mean, I to the 34 seniors that I have on this team, they just did an unbelievable job the whole year. Winnacunnet came in and they played a great game. They played an unbelievable game. The first half, I thought we were a little bit fortunate to be up 10-zip, but the kids came through. They were not phased. The little intangible called leadership. When we were in the locker room at halftime, everybody was very, very confident.
Talk to me about your defense. It seems to get overshadowed by your offense because you guys are generating so many points, but you've had no points in the playoffs. Tell me about that.
Well, there are 9 guys that returned from last year's squad, so I knew the defense this year was going to be very, very good. We're fast. We had a couple kids that did a couple things in the offseason. Travellini and Flinney actually lost weight. They got a little bit stronger, but they lost about 10, 15 pounds each, so we got faster on defense than we were last year. I thought today, the defense was just rock solid, and in the second half, too, the defense and special teams set up the offense. But we had so many people back. I knew that the catalyst of the team this year was going to be defense. The question was going to be how quickly could we get our offense going.
Now, Mike Kelly had 3 TDs. It looked like, you were trying to get him incorporated. What kind of player is he?
Michael Kelly is a special player. I mean, he has got legit speed. You see it. Every time Michael Kelly touches the ball, he's a threat to go to the house. And you saw it today. We were fortunate to get him back. I didn't think Tuesday and Wednesday, I didn't think he would be able to come back because, high ankle sprain is an annoying injury. It's tough to come back because it's still a little bit stiff. But Friday we ran him around and he was pretty good. And today, I think the adrenaline took hold.
Thanks, Coach. How you doing? I'm Derek Liamino here alongside Mike Kelly. 3 TDs in the championship game. Mike, tell me about that first TD. How did it feel?
It was great. One of the best feelings I've ever felt. I mean, big touchdown in a big game. Can't ask for much more.
It seemed like they were trying to get you involved early, and then they went away from you, and then they got you involved in that last run, that sweep. What was your feeling when you got the call?
I was excited. I mean, every time I get to touch the ball, I want to make the most out of it, but I just try and fit in the game plan with everyone else. Coach Johnson knows what he's doing. Coach Phillip knows what he's doing. I mean, you just try and do whatever they tell you.
Tell me about the team. How do you like your players? What do you got to say about that?
Amazing team. Best team I've ever played with. I mean, offensive line is amazing. Defense, just all special teams. Like, you can't ask for much of a better team. I mean.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, no problem.